from Rain Country. God is good all the time, and I'm here for a garden tour video, and this will probably be my last dedicated garden tour video for the season, but I promise I'll still keep you updated on various garden happenings through the rest of the season as we finish it out in my this and that video. So if you're not watching my Monday this and that videos, but you'd like to keep up on what's happening in the garden, make sure you're watching those videos where I talk about many things, including that. So today it's going to be the greenhouse and and a couple of surrounding areas of the greenhouse. But if you're interested in seeing more of the garden areas that I've already done videos on through the past few months, I'll link to that full playlist in the description box down below, and that's the Garden 2022. I have a playlist for each year going back to 2016 if you'd like to see how things have changed through the years as well. So let's get busy on this garden update. All right, and as usual, since I'm starting up here on the back deck, I might as well just give you a quick pan so you can see how things are going. See my grapevines coming along, my nasturtium flowers, various herbs in pots and stuff, and you can learn more about what's in those. And then over there, you'll see the baby pool and the pool net that I keep for the little guy. So let's get out here to the greenhouse so you can see what's happening. I'll also give you a quick pan of the center garden section right here, where I've got beans, corn way over there on the other side of the polycarbonate, and some more corn over here that I started much later, so it's much farther behind, but at least the corn over there is starting to get flowers. Various herbs, lots of herbs, marshmallows out there flowering, currants that are all done, well, except for a few random berries, chicory, and so on and so forth. And then opposite of that is one of the things I wanted to talk about before we go on the greenhouse is I did mention this section here in a different garden update, and I did take that 4x4 out, and we laid a whole bunch of wood shavings down. I think that's all fir, to help kill the grass and just kind of build up the soil a little bit. So I've got my chocolate mint and my horehound that I cut a whole bunch of flowers off to save for seeds. I still have more I'm going to be cutting, and then I did make another chocolate mint start over there so I can get that filled up with chocolate mint like I have here, and then this will all spread out here since I'm expanding this area out to this fence. Hello, Claire. You're going to follow me around and make a lot of noise again? And then so the dog fence, I actually have a separate video coming out on the dog fences and the pens and how I'm using them for home and garden use, not using as a dog pen per se. I'll go in the greenhouse in a minute, but first let me talk about what's happening just outside the greenhouse. So right here, all my beans and my grapevines are hanging on to each other, which is pretty cool. Decided I'd leave that. And all these pots right here typically are for growing lettuce. For some, and usually no problem, but for some reason this year, my lettuce, I have had a heck of a time. 3 plantings, and all I have right now are 2 little lettuce plants right there. But I still use these pots to start my nasturtiums. I still left a few in there. It's just a place I can start them before I move them around to other areas. And moved all the pansies that I started from seed this year. And the reason a lot of these pansies, I'm not deadheading them, is I'm saving the seeds off of them, especially these real pretty burgundy ones. I'm loving these. These are brand new to me. And so now that I've been very successful at finally getting pansies from seed, I'm going to be doing that from now on. No more buying pansy starts. And then over here, again, my blackberries and grapes all intermingling together. These blackberries are usually ripe by now, these thornless ones, and they usually get pretty big, but everything has been so far behind. They're almost on par with the regular blackberries, but at least they're starting to ripen. And then you can see the deck from this side, how it looks from standing on just the other side of the greenhouse. Claire, you noisy girl. Are you just needing attention right now? My goodness, she's one of my sweetest chickens, but she can also be the noisiest when she really wants attention. So entering into the greenhouse, you can see my tomatoes. Just like all of my annuals, they're very far behind. But thankfully, I'm getting tomatoes and getting some nice size ones. You can see here. I believe the ones I have over here are all the purples. Pretty sure. Yeah, these are all purple tomatoes because they were the ones that made it the best through the freeze that we had after I moved the plants out here. These ones are the black brandywines. So I'm only growing 3 varieties this year, but my 3 favorites, which is the purple, the black brandywines. These ones are even farther behind of the purple because these ones really struggled. In fact, I had to start fresh with some of them. And you can see my cucumber plants. I only have a few cucumbers on there right now. We don't have as many honeybees this year. Got a lot of the more bumblebee looking bees. The smaller ones, I don't know what they're called. They're not really a bumblebee, but they look like a small bumblebee. A lot of those all over the place, but they're not coming into the greenhouse like the honeybees usually do. So I might really need to start hand pollinating. There are a couple of cucumbers growing, but just like everything else, they should be a lot bigger by now, but at least I got a few growing. And then over here are my black vernissage tomatoes. These ones really suffered the most from that freeze, but you can see they're clear up to the ceiling. But I should have ripe ones by now because they're usually the first ones to grow, the first ones to get fruit, and the first ones to ripen. Beautiful tomatoes on here. This is typically the big size for the vernissage. And they turn a nice dark color like in this photo I'll show you here, but man, they're taking a long time. But the nice thing about tomatoes is once you know they're full size, you can take them inside and they'll ripen up. There's various ways you can do it. Back there is some of my holy basil. I think I have 3 pots. I think. Maybe I just have 2 pots of holy basil. There's back in that corner, you can't really see them, there's a few of my Chinese 5-color peppers, and there's a couple more over here that I don't think are going to do anything because they're going to get too shaded out by all the tomato plants. So some more. This one here, look at the size of that one. I don't know if you can really see that. I mean, I do have, just like I have small feet, I have small hands, so it's probably not saying a whole lot, but still pretty nice sized tomato. And then over here on the shelf, there's my other holy basil. You can see this one's doing a little bit better. I did hack this all down once or twice so far, and I'm letting it grow again to get seed, because then I use the seed and put it right back in the pot so I can get more next year. I love the smell and taste of holy basil when it's fresh. My pepper plants, just like all my other annuals, way behind, but these ones I thought I'd lost entirely because they stopped growing for like 2 months. And then now I'm finally just starting to get little peppers. Okay, right there. There's a purple one. That's what they look like when they first come in. So they're called Chinese 5-color because they start out purple, then they go to cream, then yellow, then orange, then red is the final color, and then all the other shades in between. So I have quite a few plants. Some of these were second. I think all the ones in this one, even though they're almost as big as these were the ones I started almost 2 months afterwards when I was starting to wonder if these ones would ever start growing again. So at least I'm still getting peppers, even though they're way behind. Some more peppers there, and there, and there, and then some Emily basil. I think it's the Emily basil. I'm letting that one go to seed. So I harvested it back twice, and I think I'm going to leave that one, let it completely seed. I've got 2 more of these in one of my other greenhouse areas, and I'm going to hack that one back and dehydrate those, but I'll let that one there go to seed right now. So that's pretty much it for the greenhouse. I mean, it's not a massive area, but we still have a lot going on. I mean, don't have a lot of different things, mostly just tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. Cucumbers taking over everything, going across everywhere. All right, well, that's it for today's garden update. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out the playlist down below and share with us down below how things are going in yours. Is it all done? It probably is, especially if you live in the South. But here, ours is still going, and hopefully it'll stretch out longer since it took so long to get started. All right, well, thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.